Good morning, first graders. Today we are on page 183 of your student journal, and we are going to be continuing with what we were doing yesterday. So we're on lesson 4, and our objective of the day says, today I will tell time to the half hour. So this is what we were practicing yesterday, the half hour. Okay. So remember yesterday when we looked at this, we said on the analog clock, what we see is our hour hand is not going to point exactly to a number. It's going to be a little bit after a number, but not yet to the next one. So, and remember, our hour hand is always our short hand, and our minute hand is always our long hand. And the half hour means it's pointing to the 6. That's because what happened is when it was pointing to the 12, it moved all the way to point to the 6. And what that means is when we look at it, that means it was half the circle that got colored in. So half the circle is half the hour. Now, because an hour has 60 minutes in it, half an hour is equal to 30 minutes. So our hour hand is past the 8, but it's not at the 9. So we say our hour is 8, and when it's pointing to the 6, that's 30 minutes or half an hour. So on the analog time, we would read this as 8:30. Okay, remember our steps. We're going to look at our clock, and then we're always going to identify our hour hand, which is our short hand, and record the hour. Then we're going to identify the minute hand, which is our long hand, and then record the minutes. So what does this look like, boys and girls? It's going to be similar to yesterday. The only difference today is you're going to notice they don't tell us which hand is which. We have to do this. So I grabbed my red pen if you just want to watch with me. So I first have to look at my analog clock and see my 2 hands. This is my hour hand. And my hour hand is the short one, and it's past the 9, but it's not yet at the 10, which means my hour is 9 o'clock. And because my minute hand is right there on the 6, that means it's 30 minutes. So on my digital clock, I would say 9:30. Okay, let's look at another analog clock. On this analog clock, I see my 2 hands, and my short one is my hour hand, and it is past the 12, but it didn't get to the 1 yet. Okay, so we're going to say our hour is 12 o'clock, and my minute hand is exactly on the 6, which means it's a half hour, which is equal to 30 minutes. So we would read this as 12:30 on our digital clock. Okay, so boys and girls, let's try some of these together. So I'm on page 184 in your student journal. And what I see is an analog clock with my two hands. So my hour clock I always look to first is my short one. And my short one was past the 5, but not at the 6 yet. So my hour is 5 o'clock. And my minute hand is exactly on the 6, which means it went from 12 to 6 and passed half the hour. And half an hour is the same as 30 minutes. So this analog clock says 5:30 when I write it in the digital clock. Okay, let's try another one, boys and girls. This one, I see my 2 hands. Okay, which one's my hour hand? Hopefully you said this one because it's the short one. So where's the short one pointing to? It passed the 8, but it's not 9 yet. So we have to say it's 8 o'clock. And then our minute hand is exactly on the 6, which is half an hour, which is the same as 30 minutes. So this digital time is 8:30. Okay, so boys and girls, you're going to try page 185 on your own, and then you're going to turn and do page 186 on your own as well. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day.